1, 2.
You're like, this is my like one move. The one arm.
Yeah, the one-armed skank.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Wait,
What did I just call you? Yeah. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, hey.
We thought we'd start with a little bit of the specials as a little bit of a tribute to Terry Hall that just passed away here December 20th. He was the lead singer of that band.
Yep.
The Specials. And if you don't know the Specials, we'll send off on a song called Ghost Town, which, I mean, that's like their kind of iconic song. Everybody probably does know, a lot of people probably don't know who they were. Even Adam, who knows everything about music and work.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't who, and I played the song. He's like, okay, yeah. I know who the Specials are.
I did that too. I was like, ghost song, what? Oh,
yeah.
I know this song.
Yeah.
But this song was played in a movie we watched this weekend.
That was actually that song. Well, the song's called "Little Bitch." And, I mean, hey, that's the name of the song. I mean, it is a good song.
I've been feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that song, actually, they played that in the movie 16 Candles.
Yes.
When they were at the dance and all that stuff, and it kind of showed some of the characters dancing, skanking, kind of. They were sort of doing a little skank a little bit.
They were.
Joan Cusack and... Yeah, we watched a few of those.
Ooh, bug. Combat boots and stuff.
Combat boots?
I saw some of the people dancing in dresses with
combat
boots, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of like in style right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's funny because we were just watching 16 Candles, and also we were watching The Breakfast Club.
Yep.
And those two, I mean, I'm older than you, yes.
Yeah,
but I grew up, like, loving those movies, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I was like 10, 11, so, I mean, It was... I mean, I really wasn't at the same age as all these characters were, but I understood it. I mean, it was just funny that...
I was like 5, 6, so
yeah,
I did not...
And I mean, I love the music. My sisters were older, so they were already into all that 80s music. And then, of course, they were into John Hughes and all the fashion. Because, the John Hughes movies, they really did set a precedent for, like, music. He's very particular about his music.
Yes.
And, and the characters and the styles. And
they fall in love with the characters.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loved Judd Nelson and... Molly Ringwald,
yep.
The Brat
Pack. She was like the star of all the good 80s movies.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, she had some, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink. Then
the one where she's having a baby, is that what it's called? She's having
No,
a baby?
that wasn't her, though. That was Elizabeth McGovern. She was in a movie called Four Keeps.
Keeps.
Yeah,
yes.
It was like her and, I can't remember if it was John Cryer or Robert Downey Jr. But yeah, it was a movie called, and she was like pregnant.
Yes,
it was kind of more of a drama than it was a comedy.
Where she keeps the baby.
Exactly.
It's like a thing.
Yeah,
like you cry and stuff. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been watching feel-good 80s movies.
Yeah, we decided to kind of take a turn on that. That was fun. I mean, we're not really done yet. I want to watch Weird Science. That'd be awesome. And then what else? We haven't watched Pretty in Pink yet.
And I want to do Pretty Woman, Dirty Dancing, Mannequin, Made to Order.
Made to Order.
Overboard.
Yeah, Overboard. Overboard's a good one.
I don't know. We'll see.
Like, are we talking like Fast Times at Ridgemont High too?
Oh yeah. Well, we kind of
watched that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can watch it again.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon. I know you really want to watch that. That's technically 80s.
That is 87. Yes, it
Look
is.
at you, know exactly the.
Oh hell yeah, I do.
What was the other one that we thought of? Was Shelley Long.
Oh, Hello Again.
Hello.
Oh
again.
My goodness.
Yeah.
There's people though that are like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and then there's other people who are like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite movie.
I know. I love it. Let us know what you like. What's your favorite 80s movie?
Yeah, for sure. What is your favorite 80s movie?
Yeah.
What is your favorite 80s movie?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have to go with probably Dirty Dancing.
Okay. That's 1987, so that's good. That's a good solid year.
And then Home Alone fits in my favorite Christmas
movie. Okay. That was going to say, that's 1990.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm. Oh. And that is also, it was written by John Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. He wrote the first two, I believe.
So what's your favorite?
Ooh. Favorite 80s movie? Uh-huh. I mean... Man, it probably would be like The Breakfast Club, something like that. I mean, as much as like I liked Red Dawn growing up,
Yeah.
Or I mean,
it's hard because 80s has such great movies.
Yeah, and I mean, like Mannequin was a good movie.
Yeah,
but then I mean, it's funny. I know that was one of the things you liked about me, because I knew exactly what Mannequin was.
I got married. You like put it on. We watched it. I was like, I texted my mom. I was like, we're watching Mannequin. She's like, oh my gosh, you scored.
You know what a guilty pleasure was? I mean, I was a kid, but the Police Academy movies.
Oh yeah,
I mean, man, they're stupid and funny. Yeah, and everyone had, it was always sort of, it was like dirty. Bumbling, learning to training, and then there was a crime that happened, and they all had to come together and chase the criminal down,
Yeah.
And I mean, really, the second, third, and fourth one, to me, those are the ones I watched. The first one was rated R, so I couldn't watch it. And
there you go.
And then I watched them when I was older, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why it's rated R, because like one character flies off of a motorcycle into a horse's ass.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there's
that's horrible.
And this is 1984. It is like early 80s, so it's also like kind of it's kind of funny.
R.
Yeah. But then the fourth one, I used to love the fourth one because the beginning of the movie, it was 1987, and it was when skateboarding really took off, and Tony Hawk was in like it was actually. It was like they had a whole little skateboard, kids, ruffians, skateboarding around. Cops are trying to chase them or whatever,
You're into
And then
that.
a few of them end up being in the program because I think it was like a Citizens on Patrol. But yeah, I loved it because they used like Tony Hawk and stuff at the beginning, and then they had him in between or whatever. And it's funny, David Spade is actually one of those skateboarders.
He is?
At the beginning, yeah. I don't know if he skates, but he was one of the people when they stopped them and he kicks his board up. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, bro? Whatever. He was one of the guys. It's like, David Spade.
That's cool. Like one of his first gigs.
Yeah, probably,
I don't
it was
think
pretty
of him
funny.
as a skateboarder at all.
No, I mean, I really don't think he was. I think he was
he just happened to be like,
But there are certain actors like Jason Lee. Jason Lee is My Name is Earl, and he's in the Kevin Smith Chasing Amy.
Yep.
He was a professional skateboarder. I actually used to have his skateboard.
What?
I used to have a Jason Lee skate. I don't know where it went, but it was on the back, on the bottom. It was like the Whopper or the Burger King emblem, like the hamburger or whatever. But in the middle, instead of like the lettuce and the meat or whatever, it just said Jason Lee with like the bun on top. It was kind of cool.
Funny.
Yeah.
Back when Burger King was cool.
Yeah, was it?
Was it?
It was funny. We were just watching a thing on like National Geographic. Remember talking about the top 10 fast food things in the 80s, and they were talking about how McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King was like number 2 or something in fast food.
The first fast food restaurant chain ever was
In-N-Out.
Yeah.
The first full drive-through.
Yeah.
I guess there was some one in like Michigan or wherever, somewhere, where it was like the first drive-through, but it wasn't. Yeah, like In-N-Out was the first with the telecom thing. You had the speaker and then go and get it. Yeah, it was like 49 or something.
And then McDonald's came like 30 years later.
Yeah, it wasn't for a while. It was like in the 70s, something like that. It was interesting though watching that show because they were talking about how there we go.
ESPN.
LeBron James, poor you, fading away. Oh no, never mind. He's like doing really well. He's been doing pretty well lately, actually, with the Lake. He's had a tough time with them though, because it feels like nobody's stepping up their game. He's had to do everything or something. It's like Kobe all over again, but he's just not Kobe.
And ESPN update: Chargers won.
Yes, so they won yesterday. Cool. Yes, and they're already in the playoffs.
Right.
But all our friends in California who are Charger fans, if there are any. Most of my friends are all like Raiders or Steelers fans. Like, whatever.
So weird.
A-holes.
Oh.
No, but they are. Chargers are going to the playoffs. That's for sure. They've already established it. So there's only a couple games left. So
these
one
games,
game left
I guess
now.
I heard don't count.
Well, I mean, it does. It'll be a matter of their seeding.
Oh, sure.
So if they stay
but they're going
relatively,
no matter what.
Yeah. They'll go in no matter what. But it's a matter of who they'll face depending on where they are in that seeding. So the high, like the number 1 plays the number 8. So obviously you don't be number 8 playing the number 1. You'd rather be somewhere in the middle maybe. And it looks like they'll be playing. They'll be the 5th spot playing the 4th.
So they'll be in.
So it'll be like a pretty level playing field. I think it's the Jaguars right now, Jacksonville, but. We'll see what happens.
Is that good?
I can't remember I believe they beat them in the regular season.
Oh, good.
And Chargers are a better team than Jacksonville, for sure.
When it comes to playoffs, like, are you away? Are the teams away for every game, or do you get a certain number of games that are home?
Yeah, I mean, they'll still have. I mean, well, no, I mean, when it's a playoffs, because it's not like normal playoffs, like in baseball, there's 7 games in one series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in football, it's just one game.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, it's all about, like, the home field advantage, I believe. So, like, if they're playing, I really don't know for sure, but, like, so say if Jacksonville is the number 4 and LA is number 5, they would play at the number 4 spot over the, because they have a better rank, So obviously, the higher your ranking, the more, the better it is, the more in your favor it should be.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But not necessarily, because there's been plenty of teams like the number 1 playing the number 8 team, and the number 8 team has beat the number 1 team, and it's like, all right, well, looks like the shitty team's going into the playoffs, or something like that. It's happened before, but.
Thank you for breaking it down for me. I'm still learning.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny.
It's interesting.
I like that you were kind of interested.
I love
if
the
you're
sound
interested in it,
of
I'll talk to it.
on the TV while I clean and I'm doing stuff.
See, you talked about mannequin. That's what gets me.
See,
I love the sound of football on the TV.
I do.
Okay. No, I'm not like some crazy fanatic. I mean, I barely get to watch the Chargers games, but I mean, it's
comforting
fun.
To me to have it on.
But it isn't. But like especially when you have 4 kids, that's very time consuming. Trying to watch a 3-hour game.
Oh,
I mean, I cannot just sit down and watch the whole game and.
No.
What I mean, the house. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's a Sunday where we only have Jack, then you're fine, and then you can.
Yeah, it's a little different, but.
Yeah. But they get it. What else have we seen? We saw Knives Out.
Yeah, we watched the first one. We'd never seen the first one.
Right.
The second one just came out 2019, so it was only a few years ago.
Okay.
Like 3 years ago, because the brand new one just came out on Netflix like last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And Knives Out, A Glass Onion Story, I believe it's called, or A Glass Onion Story, Knives Out. I guess a lot of people are hearing it as a Glass Onion story, so they're like, "Oh, that's the Knives Out story."
Okay.
It's kind of funny. But yeah, Knives Out 2. We watched the first and the second one. And what'd you think?
Well, I personally like the first one better.
Daniel Craig is awesome.
I just like the story better.
Which involved the family in the house and all that.
Right. And and there's like a maid who's kind and loving and cherishes the old man who's rich, and he like cuts off his whole family and ends up like.
What is it about?
Well, you go ahead and tell it.
You want me to tell it?
Yeah, you're better at doing that than I am.
The patriarch or like the father of this family and their rich family.
Yeah.
He dies. And, he kills himself, but people think he was murdered. Yeah, the detective who comes into the picture, Daniel Craig's character, he's like a private detective.
Right.
And so all the family members are brought together that were at that birthday the night before, because it was a birthday the night before.
That's right.
And then he's dead the next day, so they have the detectives bring all the family members that were there the night before, the family, and it's like a murder mystery. Who did it? It's kind of like Clue,
But kindness wins in that one, and I like
Well, it's cool the way they do the story, because, I mean, we watched this with Jack, and Jack's 8 years old, and even he was kind of like, we already know like what happened, like, I mean, how is this like a murder mystery? And but
they tell you early.
You kind of learn things early on, but then maybe you don't. You're not sure if you do or don't, you know. And even the story you're told, it might be upended, might be a different way or whatever it is. But there's so much more by the end of this movie than you thought,
Right.
Especially when you think you know what it is and you're like, oh, I think I'm right. And then it's like, oh, wait, there's still a lot more even after that. Second one is more elaborate, and it's kind of like it was strange.
And stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's a bigger locale, and there's a lot more gadgets involved, and electronics and cool things, whatever.
It's like more eye candy.
Yeah, and then the story itself is a lot. It's a lot more. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit more intricate, maybe. In this,
yes, but I don't want to give anything up because it's so brand new.
No, exactly.
It definitely was shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just very.
And also, I like it because, as you said, it pointed out to me this morning when we were in pre-production, was this one was about greed. Like I said, I like the first one, it was about kindness, and you're like, but check it out, this one is also like a moral thing too.
Yeah.
And so, right?
Well, for the yeah. I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's the kindness and greed kind of like go hand in hand in almost both of them, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, because you have the family that's all trying to do one thing, where the kindness is what sort of kills it at the end.
Right.
And in the second one, I mean, it's really just it was the greed that killed everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't really. I don't know. I wouldn't say there was much kindness in that one.
Acting, or I liked his. Let me say, his demeanor.
Daniel Craig
in the first one than the second one. He was more like laid back and more emotional.
In
like
the second one,
with the kindness girl.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then in the second one, he was more like get the job done. Chop, 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 chop.
Yeah.
I'm here for
I
business.
could see that. He seemed more mysterious in the first one than the second one too.
Yes, more mysterious for sure. I don't know, but you like the second one better, huh?
I liked them both. I mean, I don't know. It's really kind of hard to say which one. I don't know. I really don't know which one I like better.
We want to watch more Daniel Craig movies, so we started watching The Jacket, and he's I couldn't even recognize him in that one.
Yeah.
He's so young.
Yeah, that was... Because that was
first
made
movie or something.
I mean, no, he'd been in a few. Man, there was another one that he was in that kind of like, what was it called? It was like a war film.
He's got like dark hair.
Yeah, but he looked really young. Yeah, a lot more of it too.
Yeah.
It wasn't as like receding, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, in that movie was like in 2005 or something like that.
So
I mean, it was
like 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's still it's a good 20 years ago.
Close or whatever.
But it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was he does a really good American accent. These English people that can do our accents, we can't do theirs.
Although his accent in these movies is definitely weird.
Well, in the Knives Out movies, it's like it's like the Louisiana swamps or something like that.
It's weird.
He had the Cajun thing going on, like the twang, and it was like his own style. It was very strange.
I only think of him as 007, so it was really weird to see him with that accent at first.
Yeah, for sure.
Took me a second to get like
buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think he did a good job. I just think that accent's very strange.
Yeah, and his for him to be
able to
casted
do it.
in that, like it's kind of interesting. You'd think it would have been somebody just not Daniel Craig. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just that's funny.
Bond,
James Bond.
Yeah. And doesn't he have a new Bond coming out?
No, he's done.
Oh, he's done.
Remember? We watched that last one.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Okay.
Blew up on the island.
That's right. He blew up on the island.
You gotta watch the other ones, though. Some of the other ones are good.
See, I feel like I've seen the end, so why? I mean, I know the ending.
Right. See?
In fact, until like 2 minutes ago, I totally forgot he had died. You reminded me.
I mean, he didn't.
That's
we
what's
should
great
watch
about
the
watching
other
movies with me, because I completely forget them. Like,
yeah,
in a couple
I'll just
months,
coerce you into no, you haven't seen this one.
Yeah,
Let's
I believe
go.
you.
You haven't seen Die Hard. Remember, we were going to last year, and we didn't.
That I remember.
Yeah,
I know that it made you so happy. It brought you so much joy.
It's like, oh boy,
Christmas joy.
Yeah.
So we saw Knives Out, and man, I guess we haven't really seen much more.
Yeah, that was pretty much all the movies I think we had seen.
Yeah, well, because it's like New Year and stuff, so we celebrated New
Yeah,
Year,
we just kind of
fireworks, and
yeah.
I broke my arm.
Yes. What happened?
Oh, my Christmas gift was this really awesome skateboard. And I was like having the best day with the kids, skateboarding and grooving and feeling myself.
At the park, skating with the kids.
Yeah, and they were on their roller
Birds
skates.
are chirping.
And it was beautiful. It was sunny. It was the
Sun's
first day
out.
Warm, and I was feeling Jesus. I was praying.
And granted, it had been 5 degrees.
Yeah, so it was really a blessing. And I go to turn around. That's the problem. I turn around to ask them to say, I'm having such a great time. Are you enjoying your roller skates? And my skateboard hits a stick, and I fly off comically. And the kid said in slow motion, landing on my wrist.
So do you like fly backwards?
Yeah.
And then
like up
and you had your
off.
Apple Watch.
And I had
on your wrist.
And shattered my radius bone in 3 places.
Fun.
Across, down, and the whole right side of it. So I'm getting a plate. I'm going to be bionic. And I'm getting a bunch of screws to attach my wrist. My wrist is like an ice cream cone, and the scoop fell off, so they have to put it back on top and screw it on.
Ow.
I know, it's crazy. So I'm like, in a lot of pain, but I can do so many, thank you. I can do so many things with one hand, I'm finding out.
And you're going to get plates and screws, and you're going to be like a bionic woman.
I know, I hope my push-up game gets even better. Definitely my cartwheel game.
Yeah, your cartwheel game.
It can always be worse, right? It can always be worse. It could have been my head.
For sure. Yeah.
It could have been one of the kids.
Right.
I'd rather be the one learning the lesson to look forward than one of our children. Although it does take a lot longer for us at this age to heal.
I know.
I have surgery in a couple days, so...
Yeah, surgery on Wednesday to repair it.
Yep, and then it's healing. And then look forward to one-arm workout modifications.
One-arm ninja.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry about all that.
Oh, I know. What a way to start the new year, huh?
Yeah, but hey, like you said, it could always be worse. Yeah,
it could always be
slow
worse.
down. Learn some patience, or...
It's taking me, extra 20 minutes to do everything.
Yeah.
I bent down to put my pants on, and then I was basically kneeling, and I was like, well, since I'm down here, I might as well pray. Right, Lord, thank you for, whatever, my blessings. Count your blessings, not your problems.
Yep, that's right.
There you go.
That is right.
Speaking of counting our blessings, do we want to do we're starting our new for the year.
Yeah. We're kind of moving from Jesus Calling to Jesus Always.
Which is the same author.
Yeah. It's a different book, so
different book, different way they can, interpret the scripture.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, we thought that we would read from today. It's January 2nd today.
Yep.
Monday, everyone is probably, if they're listening on Tuesday, they're loving life right now.
Because they're back to work.
Back to work, and yeah, this is great, especially if you're on the 91 freeway in California. Josh. But yeah, this is from January 2nd. This is from Jesus Always. So should we go ahead and read it?
Yeah, I think so. We're 30 minutes in here, so I feel like this is a good...
Ba-boom. All right, let's do it. I am your joy. These 4 words can light up your life. Since I am always with you, the joy of my presence is continually accessible to you. You can open up to my presence through your trust in me and your love for me. Try saying, Jesus, you are my joy. My light will shine upon you and within you as you rejoice in me, your Savior. Ponder all I have done for you and all that I am to you. This will lift you up above your circumstances. When you became my follower, I empowered you to rise above the conditions in your life. I filled you with my spirit, and this holy helper has limitless power. I promise that I will come back and take you to be with me in heaven, that you may be where I am forever. Whenever your world is looking dark, brighten your perspective by focusing on me. Relax in my presence and hear me saying, Beloved, I am your joy.
Yes.
That's right.
That was really appropriate for my season of life right now. I want to complain because my hand's broken.
Yeah.
But I
it's
thankfulness.
Right.
Makes you feel better.
Yeah, it may not feel like it's a great start to the year or something like that, but
I'm trying to see
these aren't necessarily sort of signs that are going to lead you down a horrible year. It's just hey, this is the way things are starting. I mean, look at 2020, the year of COVID. We got married.
Right.
To us, that was a great year. To a lot of people, it sucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
just to remember that He's with you in all of the tough time.
Yeah, we tend to, look to him or look for him when we're having troubles. We tend to forget about his presence when we're having good times and things are going great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I know I'm guilty of that. It's like things are going good. Work's great, marriage is great. Weather's great, money's in the account, and we're killing it. Whatever. And I tend to just kind of enjoy what's around me, but not thinking about, where did this come from, and who do I need to give and thank for this. I tend to forget that when the things are good. It's only when things are bad, like a great amount of gas and I got to get to a gas station, or whatever. Lord help me. I need, I'm tired of work. What's going on? Whatever trials and tribulations we might have in our life, we tend to look for him then when we're in need, and fulfillment in that realm where it should just be whatever.
That's probably a good reason why we bear some of these crosses, because we aren't taking the time to spend with him. But if we have a cross to bear, it puts you on your knees to pray.
Right.
But it also, walking around being thankful during suffering and during happiness, just like literally walking around being thankful.
Yeah.
But not like just saying, I'm thankful. But
it's
feeling thankful in the things.
Right. Well, and it's like we were just saying, we got to think about, okay, you broke your arm, or your wrist or whatever, but at least you didn't.
My head.
Yeah, at least you didn't crack your head open, or you're looking at what you need to do. I mean, you're praying, you're asking God for help, but then you're looking for okay, maybe this is telling me to slow down a little bit, like you said. I mean, you got to look at why these things are happening and what I can do to try and help guide myself through these avenues,
Right.
Try and make it a little bit easier.
Try to listen. I feel like something like this is like a POW in your life where you're supposed to be listening.
Sure.
Quietly listening. And if you go on my prayer corner, Kat's prayer corner, I have a manifestation for the year. And you can it's what you focus on really comes true, right? So if you're focusing on God and healing and being well and joy that comes from him, that will start to just naturally start happening, so
start to look at the positive things. I mean, he's given us so many things, but we might not look at them as gifts like other things are gifts. I mean, just like a beautiful flower, things like that, or a sunset, or the way the sky looks as the sun is setting. Those are gifts as well.
Right.
And we got to look at those times as beauty, and I mean, because we do kind of focus on the negative.
Your brain does that. My therapist told me that.
Sure.
Your brain does that. The first thing it does is scans the room when you wake up of something to protect you.
Mm-hmm. Like, what's wrong in here?
Yeah, looking for something wrong.
Right.
So you got to start training it. That's why spending time with God in the morning has always been helpful for me. Because set the intention.
Yep. No, I agree.
Set the intention. I need your joy, Lord. I am not capable of my own joy sometimes, especially when you're in a lot of pain. I feel bad for people who are in agony all the time, chronic. This is going to be temporary. I'm going to get through this,
Right.
But it's I think of people who are in chronic pain all the time and how they're ever nice to anyone. I feel for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Need God.
Well, yeah, and
For
you think about things like that, I mean, chronic pain, or I wouldn't want to go through that constantly. I mean, it makes me realize I take for granted,
our health.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I might have a stomach ache or this or that, but boy, that's a lot better than having something that just sticks around. Every day for the rest of your life, arthritis, or
I think of
some
my
of these
mom.
things that
My
people
mom
go
has
through.
been in pain. Her back, she's broken 5 times or something nuts.
Ugh.
And she's so happy. She's always so, shout out to mom. But she's always happy. She'll wake up from getting no sleep, just happy. That to me is the joy of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Well, thank you for always reading.
Yeah, no problem.
I love your reading voice.
My reading voice by True Pardee.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was. I like what it had to say there. So.
I think. Oh, you know what we wanted to tell them, and I can edit some of this here.
What's that?
Shows we're gonna go see.
Yeah.
What
do we have coming up here? We got a few things coming up, right?
For Christmas, I got 3 small boxes, and I opened it up, and inside was printed out really super cool concerts I want to go to. Number 1 is Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks. I even said it, like, you really want to surprise me, get me that. And I had no idea. I was completely shocked. So I'm really excited about that. Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. Which is going to
be so amazing.
We'll talk about it,
For sure. And then Trevor Hall, who's like he's an artist that I fell in love with when I was doing some of my elevated energy, meditative work, healing work. And I introduced him to Drew, and I feel like there's like a good part of his music is our love life, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's like a little excerpt from it. This is some Trevor Hall.
So beautiful.
He's like more contemporary, more acoustic driven, and yeah, it's like
I made a video for you when we first started dating about healing.
Like he's got some pretty good tunes. There's a little bit of like what he has, and his voice is like it's like haunting in parts,
It comes to me upon the strings when I hear it while I sing.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. So we get to go to that, and then what was the other one? That's it, right?
Well, yeah, we're gonna go to
and
those.
Then we're gonna see Craig.
Yeah, we're gonna see Craig Robinson.
Yeah, for your birthday.
We're gonna go check him out. Yep, from my birthday.
45.
And then we're gonna go. Who else? Was that it?
I think.
I thought that there was. Well, yeah, it was in.
That's a lot.
I guess
I'm
that was
really
it.
excited. I hope my arm is better by the. Let's see, we're going in February to Adam Sandler.
Yes, day after Valentine's Day, 15th.
Oh, that's perfect. And then we have a show for your birthday, and then we have a show for the month of April.
Yep.
Every
2
weekend.
or 3.
Yeah. Cool. Well, there's lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be fun. That'll definitely be fun.
And what are we listening to?
Well, I thought we'd go out with kind of what we came in with.
Yeah.
Some Terry Hall, the lead
Specials.
singer from the Specials that had passed away. And like I said, yeah, he was the lead singer, and, they were a pretty iconic group in the 80s for sure. Talking about the 80s,
Yeah, right, exactly.
And so we thought we'd go out with what we were talking about before. Their most iconic song, it was called Ghost Town. So this is the Specials with their song Ghost Town. All right, guys. You guys have a great day, great night, whenever you're listening here.
Yeah. And thanks for listening to Let's Party, Prayer, and Punk Rock.
Yeah!
yourself. This place is coming like a ghost town. No job to be found in this country. Can't go on no more. The people getting hungry.